Hi everyone, Brent Haynes with Wood Sound Flutes, and I'm thrilled to be able to share with you today two new flutes that we just finished up, and both of these flutes are available right now, and they can be shipped out as early as Monday. The flute in my hands right now is a double performance buffalo. The performance buffalo line of flutes is one of our classic lines, and in this instrument is walnut. Here we've got maple burl for the lighter wood, and ebony on the flute, and so it's got a little bit of turquoise inlay and just a lovely, lovely instrument. So the way that I was playing this flute just now is it's set up for what's called droning. So the bottom flute has 6 leather ties, and these leather ties cover the finger holes of the bottom flute. The bottom flute's a complete flute. It has all the notes that the top flute has. And so I can uncover the straps or uncover the holes and play different notes to drone with the flute. So for example, just slide this bottom hole back a little bit. And it's got a totally different vibe than when we were droning with the fundamental note. So we'll go ahead and take it up a few more notes here and just kind of give you an example of that. So playing the double flute as a drone is perhaps the easiest way to play two flutes at once together, because I don't have to do anything different. I'm just going to use my fingers like I normally would use them on a single flute, and then using the second flute as that drone note. Let's go ahead and slide back the third hole. This is actually my favorite position. So you can see it's just a huge range of sounds that you can get from the instrument, different feelings, ability to communicate different emotions, and so on. So then the favorite way for me to play a double flute is to play one hand on the top flute and one hand on the bottom flute. Now when I do this, I can move these fingers now independently of my bottom hand. Doesn't make the flute squeak like it would if it were a single, right? That didn't work, but that does work because they're two different flutes. And so it's really fun to do some different fingering on the top flute and on the bottom flute, and just kind of develop a walking harmony, if you will. Beautiful, beautiful instrument. So let me show you a few more things about this instrument. because you have a complex air passage to get the air from this mouthpiece to the top flute and from this hole to the bottom flute. It's complex. And so several years ago I invented what I call the Easy Clean mouthpiece, and it just simply is a mouthpiece that comes off of the flute. Now this is, it slides onto the flute. It has metal inserts on the mouthpiece, and then the metal coming out of the tube, out of the flutes. And these tubes are designed to be airtight when they're together. It's tubing for musical instrument repair. You know, for like slides on a trombone or whatever. Anyways, so that's what the tubing does for us, and it's very secure, it's airtight, works great, and most importantly, it lets you pour out the water. Because we know when we play flutes, man, do they ever get wet. And we want to make sure that we get that moisture out of the flute just as quick as we can. You just don't want the finish to be sitting in, or the water to be sitting on the finish on the inside of the slow air chamber, because eventually it may get through the finish. You know, how many times have you seen a water ring on a wooden table or a dresser from where somebody put a glass of water on it, and even though there was finish on between the wood and the cup, the water still gets through it. It's just very persevering, and will find its way through. So that's why we have the Easy Clean mouthpiece, and it almost all of the double flutes I'm making nowadays I do with an Easy Clean mouthpiece, just because when you're investing this kind of money that it takes to make a double flute, it's great to have an insurance policy, and this is the best insurance policy there is for keeping the flute in great shape over the long haul. Let me talk real quick about the cost of a double flute. The pricing on a double flute is the price of both flutes, right? So we got two flutes. In this case, this flute is $5.95 normally, and so you got $5.95 twice. And then to do the saddles and the mouthpiece is another $400, and then the Easy Clean mouthpiece is $300. And so you basically add $700 to the price of the two flutes that you want to be made into a double flute to get to that price point. So in this particular situation, what that means is we double it. That gets us up to $1190, and then add to that $1190 $700, takes us up to $1890. So in this newsletter and video, I'm offering special pricing on a double performance buffalo flute. On this flute, that makes the flute $1,500 even. And that represents just over a 20% discount on this instrument. Since the special pricing is already discounted steeply, the current promo that we have right now, the Share the Love promo, is not valid for discount for this particular instrument at that $1,500 price. That said, if you do share the Wood Sounds love and someone buys a flute and lets us know they were referred by you, then you still will get that 15% credit towards a flute, whether it's used on this instrument or another instrument. Okay, so anyways, double flutes, love them, love them, love them. They are wonderful. Now this instrument is another one that's been in the works for quite a while. A while back we were making a low E rustic flute, which has that textured carving done to the outside of the instrument. And Josh had selected this piece of mesquite for that flute. But once he got it turned down, the grain was just awesome. It was just a beautiful, beautiful piece of mesquite. And so he decided that we just put that one into inventory and make a different flute for the rustic, since it gets all the texturing and the grain would have been lost. Glad he did. It's just really elegant. It is a beautiful instrument. So this flute is mesquite for the flute body. We have ebony for the trim here at the mouthpiece, end cap, shoulders, totem. And then we've got 2 bands of copper with a bit of turquoise mixed with copper flakes in between the 2 bands of copper. And then it's got some really cool copper inlays in the body of the flute too. I love this. I love the copper in the body of the flute. I just think it's so beautiful. We just did an inlay of Cocopelli for a friend of mine that it's got Cocopelli inlaid in the copper, and then some silver inlaid into the Cocopelli's body in the copper, and it's very cool, and a silver flute too. So this flute retails for $13.60. Was that right? $13.60?
What? Yes.
Okay. So this flute retails for $13.60. In this newsletter or video, we're offering this flute at a similar discounted price as a double flute, and that price. So again, the links in the newsletter is where you can order those flutes at that special pricing. This is a great flute. Lovely. Very lovely. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions at all, shoot me a call or an email at brent@woodsounds.com, and my phone number is 801-822-1415. I hope you're having a fabulous day and playing some flute yourself.